The demigods of Tamil politics no longer walk the earth. One by one, they have passed on, leaving in their passing massive wakes that continue to power their brand of politics in Tamil Nadu. Periyar, Annadurai, MGR, Jayalaithaa, and Karunanidhi. Names of Tamil icons who continue to dictate Tamil politics and the fortunes of their political parties. But the upcoming assembly election of 2021 in Tamil Nadu is going to be special because this time none of the icons are around and legacy is set to clash with legacy to decide the outcome.
MGR கட்சியினுடைய பொருளாளர்.
Periyappa or uncle is what DMK's Stalin claims MGR is for him. To Stalin's relationship was quick to come. From the current ruling dispensation of Tamil Nadu, from the party that MGR had set up.
அவரை தூக்கி போடும்போது அவன் சித்த பெரியப்பாவை தெரியலையா ஏப்பா பெரியப்பாவை தூக்கி வெளியே போடுற செய்யக்கூடாதுப்பா அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்கலாம்ல அவங்க அப்பாட்ட சொல்லியிருக்கலாம்ல அடம் பிடிச்சிருக்கலாம்ல சரி பெரியப்பா கட்சி ஆரம்பிச்சார்ல இவர் வந்தாரா வந்து பேசினாரா பெரியப்பா இன்னைக்கு தான் இந்த எலெக்ஷன் நேரத்தில் தான் தெரியுதா
Over the past several assembly elections in the state, the political battles had been waged between the DMK and the Aiadmk, led by their formidable leaders, Karunanidhi and Jayalalithaa. But between the last election in 2016 and the impending one in 2021, both these leaders have passed away and there is fierce jostling for advantage.
This is, in a sense, a sort of a populist move or, a shot in the dark almost. I think Stalin, however he references Periyappa and so on, cannot really claim to cut across party lines and claim the ADMK's mantle.
But even as parties that forged and claimed the Dravidian mantle, there is this time around two superstars of Tamil cinema, waiting to cash in their celluloid status to become the new demigod of Tamil politics. They too are claiming the legacy of those who came.
யாரை பத்தி சொல்றீங்க MGR அவர்களை பற்றி சொல்கிறீர்களா என்ன பத்தி கமல் ஹாசன் சாரை பத்தி சொல்றீங்க சார் என்ன ரெண்டும் கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரே இனத்தை சேர்ந்தவர்கள் தான் நடிகர் இனம் என்று சொல்லிக்கொண்டால்
Tamil politics like Tamil cinema has always had the potential to be larger than life. And come election, the drama mounts. The entire state turns a stage and every politician worth their salt tries to outdo the next. With bare months to go for Tamil Nadu to elect its next chief minister, the political forces in the state have begun straining at the leash. There are interesting times ahead. Silver screen stars will descend to mortal planes to woo votes. Allegations will be exchanged and grand gestures will heighten expectations. In the pot will stew identity, caste, economics, and ghosts of the past. Because only a combination of these and a permutation of their worth will pave the way to power in Chennai. The Aiadmk is in power and the DMK wants a comeback. The dravidian Kadagam has been out of power in Tamil Nadu since 2011 and the party's grand old patriarch Karunanidhi had been away from active politics mainly due to his ill health. But in the past decade or so, the family of Karunanidhi has been accused of corruption and the patriarch Karunanidhi himself accused of nepotism. These allegations were seen as one of the main reasons for the DMK's dismal performance at the 2011 assembly elections, an unexpected loss of popularity for the man who had been the driving force behind the DMK. But among the many ups and downs in Karunanidhi's political career, it was personal anguish that possibly hurt more in the last phase of his life. The agony of a father having to choose between two of his sons over who should take over the mantle. Adagiri and Stalin had been involved in a long-running feud in the DMK's first family, with both contending to be their father's political heir. After the 2011 assembly elections that the DMK lost so miserably, strains had developed between Karunanidhi and Adagiri. till finally Adagiri was sacked from the party ahead of the 2014 Lok Sabha elections for alleged indiscipline. It was said that it was younger brother Stalin who instigated the move. But despite his expulsion, Adagiri, who had been the DMK's organizing secretary of the South Zone, continued to enjoy considerable clout among the middle and lower level cadres of the party. It was elder son Adagiri's fallout with his younger sibling MK Stalin that had the potential to divide the DMK once again. So while the absence of the Dravidian unifier caused the DMK dear, they also gave younger son Stalin the space to come into his own, while still using his father's aura to legitimize his rise. In August 2018, M. Karunanidhi became the last of the Tamil mega politicians to have passed away. Now his youngest son, Stalin, is in command of the party that his father molded in his ideology. But possibly not leaving anything to chance, Stalin is now claiming relationship with M.G. Ramachandran, the founder of DMK's opponent, the ruling AIADMK.
இதில் அவர் எனக்கு அட்வைஸ் பண்ணி வாழ்த்தி பேசும்போது சொன்னார், நான் அப்பா ஸ்தானத்தில் இல்லை, பெரியப்பா ஸ்தானத்தில் இருந்து உனக்கு அட்வைஸ் பண்ணுறேன்.
In 2016, when Tamil Nadu had voted in its last government, the AIADMK Supremo J Jayalalithaa was in full command, and her stature was such that her presence influenced politics even at the center in Delhi. But soon after becoming chief minister for the 6th time, Jayalalithaa, the unquestioned leader of her party and MGR's protege, passed away, leaving in her wake suspense and chaos within her party. The night Jayalalithaa died, Paneerselvam, the chosen deputy to run state affairs in her absence, was sworn in as the chief minister even before her body reached Pose Garden. Since that night, Tamil Nadu politics, much like the larger-than-life Tamil Masala films, has seen all sorts of drama. At Jaya's funeral, it was Sasikala, the trusted aide, flanked by the infamous Manarguddi clan, who mourned her passing. It seemed to be the perfect solution. OPS to look after state affairs, while Sasikala, dubbed Chinnamma in the party, to take care of the party itself. A snug arrangement that lasted a bare 2 months. On 5th of February 2017, Paneerselvam resigned, as Sasikala fine-tuned her strategy to take over the government. She began to face difficulty in getting an appointment with the acting governor of the state to stake her claim. OPS used this time to mediate at Jaya's memorial. He claimed Amma has helped him hear his inner voice.
Amma wanted me to save the party. Centre wanted me as chief minister. I said no.
While all of this posturing and consolidating was taking place, there came a spanner in the works for Sasikala's political ambitions. On 14th of Feb 2017, the Supreme Court gave the go-ahead for Sasikala's conviction in the disproportionate asset case. As soon as news broke, another powerful AIADMK stalwart, E Palaniswami, EPS, made his move to take control. The very next day, as Sasikala surrendered to court and made her way to jail, EPS won the floor test in the assembly and became the 3rd AIADMK Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu in as many months. With Sasikala in jail, her nephew TTV Dhanakaran became the party's Deputy General Secretary and the de facto supreme of the ruling AIADMK faction. On 21st of August, the factions within the AIADMK merge. Chief Minister E Palaniswami makes O Paneerselvam his Deputy Chief Minister. By September, the now combined EPS-OPS-led AIADMK removed both Sasikala and her nephew TTV Dhanakaran from all party posts. Now let us travel back 7 odd decades in time, when soon after independence, the Dravida movement was headed for an acrimonious breakup. This was when Annadurai and Periyar had begun to drift apart, and from that divorce of giants emerged 2 young leaders who were to leave their stamps on Tamil Nadu: M.G. Ramachandran and M. Karunanidhi.
MGR was not a Tamilian. He was born to Malayali parents in Sri Lanka and began acting as a travelling theatre artist. Though he made his film debut in 1935, it was only in 1947, when he was cast in a film written by M. Karunanidhi, that he turned into a star. The film was Rajakumari. By the early 1950s, MGR had already been drawn into the world of Tamil politics. He came under the sway of Annadurai and his Dravidian movement and joined the Dravida Munnetra Karagam, or the DMK, and rose rapidly through its ranks. In 1972, when Annadurai died, MGR left the DMK to form his own party, the Anna Dravida Munnetra Karagam. In 1977, he became the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, the first film actor in India to become the Chief Minister of a state.
Interestingly, the film that turned MGR into a megastar, Rajakumari, was written by none other than M. Karunanidhi. And with that film, Karunanidhi too stamped his name as one of the greats of Tamil cinema. But it wasn't just films where Karunanidhi was leaving his mark. A bare 2 years after the success of Rajakumari, he had joined his mentor Annadurai to help in the founding of the Dravida Munnetra Karagam, or the DMK. The year was 1949. As the decade of the 1960s dawned, Karunanidhi became the deputy leader of the opposition in the Tamil Nadu Assembly, cementing his place as the number 2 in Dravida politics after Annadurai. Also by this time, not only was he an already established name in Tamil politics, but also in the Tamil film industry. Karunanidhi's films were largely historical and social stories, which propagated a reformist view of society. In 1967, when the DMK came to power for the first time, Karunanidhi became Minister for Public Works. And 2 years later, in 1969, he became the Chief Minister when his mentor, until then Chief Minister of Madras State, Annadurai, died. The tussle for the top spot within the DMK was a straight fight between Karunanidhi and V.R. Nedunserian, who was the acting Chief Minister on the demise of Annadurai. With the backing of MLAs like MGR, it was Karunanidhi who finally took control and became Chief Minister.
It was a coup of sorts because 5 prominent leaders were at that time handling the DMK's affairs, like Nedunserian, Madhyaragan and a few others. Karunanidhi was not one among the 5. It was with his sheer political acumen. He actually, pushed back them and he captured the power.
With the death of Annadurai, Karunanidhi got increasingly occupied with his political career. And along with his longtime friend, MGR, he set about stamping his dominance over the party. MGR's popularity with the masses was such that till he lived, Karunanidhi and his DMK never managed to get back to power in Tamil Nadu. In 1982, Karunanidhi's rival party had a new entrant, also from the world of cinema, Jayalaithaa. She stepped into politics as a glamorous face, but ended up enthralling voters with her fiery oratory. Even though AIADMK leaders had anticipated MGR's death because of his failing health, they had been unable to create a second rung of leadership. Jayalalitha's ability to draw MGR's fans and party cadre alike made her a clear frontrunner to fill the void that MGR had left. The power vacuum in the AIADMK after MGR's death came as a breather for Karunanidhi, who sought to consolidate his hold in Tamil Nadu and steered the DMK back to power in 1989. Unfazed by Jayalalithaa, Karunanidhi dismissed her as a Brahmin face who knew nothing about Dravidian politics. That was for the second time that the DMK patriarch severely underestimated his political opponent. The animosity and vindictiveness that ruled Tamil politics dates back to a dramatic episode in the State Assembly that took place on March 25th, 1989. As Karunanidhi stood up to present the budget on the floor of the House, leader of the opposition Jayalaithaa accused him of being a criminal. The chief minister retorted with a snide remark. Soon, a ruckus broke out between Aiadmk and DMK, forcing the speaker to adjourn the house. When Jayalalithaa came out of the assembly, she was disheveled and weeping, and accused a DMK leader of trying to disrobe her. In 1991, the Janata Dal Secular Congress coalition at the centre, led by Chandrasekhar, cracked down on DMK and dismissed the Tamil Nadu government for sympathizing with the militant outfit of Sri Lanka, LTTE. With Rajiv Gandhi's assassination by the LTTE, the people of Tamil Nadu turned its back on Karunanidhi. Jayalalithaa avenged her insult and trounced Karunanidhi at the state elections, held in a charged atmosphere only weeks after Rajiv Gandhi's killing. The AIADMK took 224 seats and reduced the DMK to a mere 7. And Jayalalithaa became a first-time chief minister. Claiming that the DMK had emptied Tamil Nadu's treasury, the new chief minister vowed to take only 1 rupee as salary and kick-started a slew of welfare schemes. Nowhere else in the country has cinema dominated politics like it has in Tamil Nadu. So when there was a void in the state's politics, it was no surprise that Tamil film icons began gravitating towards the political stage. After all, the evidence of the past suggested that fan clubs made for excellent vote banks. And the bigger the Tamil film star, the more sycophantic the fan base.
Makkal Needi Mayam.
On the soundtrack of his film Vishwarupam, Kamal Haasan entered Madurai and announced the name of his political party. His supporters were elated with the launch and the official entry of another superstar in politics.
The fan base is pretty large, and they all want to see a change in Tamil Nadu politics. So they would 100% support Mr. Kamal Haasan in this. And the youth is disenfranchised, like, with the current politicians, and they are looking for a savior, or someone that will set the tone for the years to come. And Mr. Kamal Haasan is the person.
With the launch of his political party, Kamal Haasan set about undulating the waters of Tamil politics. Polls began to grow. There came a challenge from another superstar, and one with a bigger and more dedicated fan club.
ஒரு நிலைமை ஏற்பட்டுச்சு. அதுக்கு என்னை வாழ வைத்த தெய்வங்களான தமிழ் மக்களும் நான் ஆதரிச்ச அந்த கூட்டணிக்கு full support பண்ணி அது ஜெயிக்கும்.
While Kamal Haasan went official and launched his party, Rajinikanth kept the suspense going and growing. After many false starts, when his fans thought Thalaiva would finally launch his party, came the announcement that it is not happening. But this did not stop the superstar from invoking MGR in his speeches.
சத்தியமாக யாரோ எம்ஜிஆர் ஆக முடியாது. எம்ஜிஆர் ஒரு யுக புருஷர். ஆனால் அவர் கொடுத்த அந்த நல்லாட்சி, தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு ஒரு தலைமை தேவை, ஒரு தலைவர் தேவை. அந்த இடத்தை நான் நிரப்புறதுக்கு நான் வர்றேன்.
Not to be outdone in the season of showing proximity to MGR, Kamal Haasan is suggesting that he is the true successor of MG Ramachandran.
யாரை பத்தி சொல்றீங்க? எம்ஜிஆர் அவர்களை பற்றி சொல்கிறீர்களா, என்னை பற்றி சொல்றீங்களா? சரி, என்ன ரெண்டும் கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரே இனத்தை சேர்ந்தவர்கள் தான். நடிகர் இனம் என்று சொல்லிக் கொண்டால் அதையும் பார்க்க வருவாங்க, அதை தாண்டியும் பார்ப்பார்கள். அப்படி பார்த்ததனால் தான் அவர் புரட்சி தலைவரானார்.
The reaction from AIADMK was quick and without any surprises.
The people can say their personal name. Okay. But as a party, AIADMK only is having the right. So totally Tamil Nadu people mind is Kamal is totally an opportunist.
Rajinikanth and Kamal Haasan are contemporaries from the Tamil film industry. And in a sense, they have become political contemporaries as well, because when one entered the political field, the other followed, albeit not fully, it seems. But however one looks at it, the upcoming elections, it seems, will be a clash of film personalities, the legacy of those dead and the attraction of those alive. That is what will hold center stage in Tamil Nadu.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.